Proceed to vote. Have all members now voted? The clerk will take the roll. 84 affirmative votes and 4 negative votes. Therefore, the letter of resignation is accepted. Representative Fox.
I stand before you proud to be a child of God. Proud to be the son of Ben and Nora Fox, proud to be the husband of Mary Ann Jones, and proud to be the father of Ashley and Ryan Fox, and proud to have been your colleague and a member of this house. You honor me with your kind words, but more important than that, you honored me with the opportunity to serve and be your colleague. 23 years ago I came here as a young, skinny fella with an entourage, ready to slay the dragons and with lots of dreams and with lots of ideas. And if you'll think back to that first moment that each of you came to this house, you'll think about all the dreams that you had and the things that you wanted to do when you got here. And the horizon was wide open. Lots of plans. Those days, I didn't think I'd be here this long. I thought by now I would have been through the Senate, on the governor. Then I found out I served with 131 other folks that thought they were going to be senators and governors. And along the way, I learned a lot. And I look across this body, and when we were here for the memorial service for former Speaker Rife, and I saw an opportunity to see people who had come in and had gone on. You start, particularly as you start thinking about, life beyond the house, how precious and how wonderful this family that we are all part of, how wonderful it is. And how privileged we are to have had the trust and confidence of the people who go about their business every day and entrust to us this special opportunity to come, as Representative Batchelder has said many times, to the people's house and conduct their business. I learned that Tip O'Neill in his book, The Man of the House, when he talked about all politics being local, was wrong. I think Scott Turow, a novelist, in his most recent novel, got it even more on target. He said, all politics is personal. It is personal to the people that we serve and represent because the things we do here have direct impact on what happens to them. But it's personal to each of us. It's personal in how we go home at the end of the day and the feelings and the memories that we bring with us. There are good days and there are bad days, and I'm particularly grateful, as in any family, those of you that have expressed both frustration and affection, have been there as friends, even on the bad days. I thank you for that. I know that LSC probably will be in tune for now a budget reduction in staff reduction. And I have to tell you that we are all so privileged to have the service of that fine staff. I think back through the various opportunities I've had to have amendments and so forth, but not for their hard work, it would have never happened. The Sue Clars, the Jim Burleys, Deborah Zodzais, Randy Anderson, John Gallagher, who's gone on before. John Gallagher went through 57 drafts of workfare over a 2.5-year period before we got it right. As I go back to Butler County, I tell you something, as is the case of anything you've done for a long time, you have mixed emotions. I'm excited about the prospects of going back, being closer to home, closer to the family. And with term limits, each of you will wrestle with this, where do I go from here in terms of because inside of each of us is this desire to have an impact on people's lives in a positive way. And when this opportunity came, I thought, well, it's time to go. The relationships that I've had with leadership and with all of you are treasured. And Speaker Davidson, I thank you for the opportunity to chair the Education Committee and the doors that you opened for me. As I've said before, I appreciate the tutelage of Vern Rife and Corwin Nixon. And Bill, I treasure our relationship, and I'm glad we started talking again. And even that irascible Bob Netzley, my goodness. I tell you, you really get mellow when you start to go. You even think, well, gosh, I'll miss Netzley. But actually, I'll miss you all, each and every one of you. I want to thank the people of the district for giving me this wonderful privilege over all these years. I want to say to those of you that have time when I've been in the hustle and bustle and just focused on, kind of locked on like a missile in something that I've done and said things that have hurt you. And sometimes unknowingly, and sometimes because I was caught up in what I was doing. My Saturday Night Live sense of humor gets me in trouble all the time. But I thank you for those indulgences. And I would just ask you one last thing in terms of just two things. One, keep the technology for Ohio schools alive, because I tell you something. It'll take a while for us to get it right, but in an information age that we're going to, kids' abilities to manipulate words, move information, and acquire and analyze things at the speed of light will determine their quality of life, and frankly, it'll determine ours. So please do that. And finally, please do that thing about child support enforcement, whatever it is. Maybe not my way of doing it, but somebody. Those 900,000 kids in this state that go to bed every night dependent upon government to define what quality of life they have. Courts. They need our best. Enough of that. I thank you, each and every one, and I will treasure the friendship that you've given me and the affection till I take the last breath on this earth. God bless you all. Thank you.
Motions and resolutions, reports of standing and select committees, and bills.